I seriously don't know what I have started here. Anyway, it's time for another My Little Pony episode review. Today I am going to be reviewing Over a Barrel, requested by Heavenly Hounds 96. Seriously guys, why are you requesting me to review all my least favorite episodes? Why can't I review a good one for once? I guess that's what I get for leaving requests open for my fans. That'll be a lesson for the future. Anyway, let's get this Over a Barrel review over with. So this episode begins with the main six and Spike taking a train up to someplace out in the west, and Applejack is reading a bedtime story to an apple tree named Bloomberg. Don't ask. And Rarity is jealous of this. Anyway, Applejack has a mission to deliver this tree to her relatives in Appaloosa. It's a long travel since it takes them over a day to get there. So at nighttime, most of the ponies are up talking, but Spike and Rarity are getting annoyed by all the ponies talking. Spike leaves to sleep with Bloomberg. The next morning, I forgot to mention, the train is being hauled by horses for some reason, or ponies if you will. The next morning, the ponies wake up to discover a buffalo stampede, and the stampede is attacking the train. This little female buffalo gets on top of the train, and Rainbow Dash goes up to find out what this is all about. But she loses her, falls off the train, and the buffalo detaches the caboose, taking Bloomberg and Spike with them. Rainbow Dash goes after them while the other five arrive in Appaloosa. They immediately meet AJ's cousin, Brayburn, who gives them a tour of the place, not giving anyone a chance to talk. Don't you hate people who do that? Eventually she gets his attention, telling Brayburn about the buffalo stampede, and also Pinkie Pie is mysteriously missing. Brayburn says that the buffalo stampede is a tribe that wants to take away all the apple trees in Appaloosa. Meanwhile, Rainbow Dash is looking for the buffalo tribe, and it turns out that Pinkie Pie has come along to help her. They then see the buffalo tribe, who apparently respect dragons, but not ponies so much. That night we meet the young buffalo named Little Strongheart. What happened is that the buffalo were after the tree, but they took Spike by mistake. The ponies are introduced to the leader of the tribe, Chief Thunderhooves. He explains that the buffalo are stampeding a path every year, but the ponies in Appaloosa have been planting their trees in their path without their permission. The next day, the others go out to find the other three, but they run into them only to bring the buffalo to talk to the ponies of Appaloosa. Unfortunately, Applejack and Rainbow Dash are on opposite sides. Twilight says they both have good reasons for what they want. And then Pinkie Pie comes up with an idea to give both sides an agreement. She performs her infamous "You Gotta Share, You Gotta Care" song. That title's too long. The only thing they agree on after that was that Pinkie's performance was the worst performance they've ever seen. Even Twilight and her friends knew it wasn't going to work. So instead of making things better, Pinkie ended up making things worse, and Chief Thunderhooves declares war on Appaloosa. So the ponies of Appaloosa get their town prepared for the war. The main ponies try to talk to every pony, but they won't be rational or reasonable. And on the other side, Pinkie and Rainbow and Spike are having the same problem. Also, I swear, somewhere in the montage I saw an Applejack recolor. The next day at noon, every pony in Buffalo was ready for the war. But just then, Little Strongheart stops the chief from doing it right at the last second. But then immediately Pinkie comes out of nowhere and sings her song again. And this angers the chief, ordering them to charge into the town anyway. And the war begins. It was one of those comical wars you see in all westerns. It's not like all those cliche showdowns, you know what I'm talking about. Eventually the chief gets hit in the face with an apple pie, and for some reason everyone thinks he's dead. Don't ask. He tastes the pie on his face and finds it to be delicious. With that, the chief comes up with an idea to let the apple orchards stay in exchange for the apple pies that the ponies of Appaloosa make. I think another thing we've learned in this episode was that Spike's favorite gemstones are turquoise. So, final verdict. I gotta say, this was my least favorite episode from Season 1, and for numerous reasons. First of all, the setting takes place entirely out of Ponyville, which gives away a lot of the magic feeling the show gives. Second, the plot is something cliche we've all seen a million times before. Third, it's a parody on westerns, and I'm not a big fan of westerns because they always depress me for some reason. And fourth, no offense to whoever wrote this episode, but this episode was just plain boring. And I don't plan to ever watch it in my spare time again. Sorry for feeling a little unenthusiastic, but it's kind of how I feel about this episode, and I'm kind of in a weird mood right now. Now then, since you guys are constantly requesting me to review episodes that I hate, I'm not going to take a request this time. Oh, by the way, the reason Heavenly Hounds wanted me to review this episode is because Brayburn makes his debut in this episode, and I'm assuming he's a fan of that character. Anyway, for my next episode review, I'm going to take a look at one of the better Season 1 episodes. My next review is going to be on Bridal Gossip. So until then, Powerpuff 97 away.